episode 119. And welcome into the Bench is Clear podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. I'm Tyler Coe, representing the Los Angeles Dodgers, who went 4-3 this past week.
And me, if you're asking about me, I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent a team that did the opposite of go undefeated. So make that what you will. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we can wrap this thing up now, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Bummer. I mean, Jesse really lucked out. As all of you, I'm sure, noticed, we didn't record an episode last week. I am officially an uncle. So was celebrating that for a little while, but we're back to our regularly scheduled program. I will now be referred to as Theo Tyler. And yeah, Jesse's sad because now he has to talk about Giants baseball. And I know if there's one thing he doesn't want to talk about right now, it's Giants baseball.
Baseball, yes. One thing I do have to say about you being a Theo, kind of, you have to be baptized, and your first, I guess your baptism would be during her first birthday. You have to be the one on the ladder holding the rope with the piñata, and then you will officially be the Theo. But right now you're basically like a prospect, if that makes sense.
Man, cultural differences, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's an unspoken thing. But yeah, anything we could talk about that for a long time. Anything to get out of speaking about this Giants team. But let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's be depressed. Let's get I
love being
Dodger
depressed.
fans excited and going.
It's my favorite thing in the world is to be depressed.
Just to be sad. The
I
Giants didn't win any games last week. I mean, we could go back to 2 weeks, but that's not that much. I guess it's better because they won, I think a game or two. But I mean, it just seems like a lifetime ago when this team was okay, or just even okay,
decent.
Yeah, they've been so. I feel like we're the Padres of last year. It was just there's no energy. I mean, let's just go. We're not going to go one by one because, I mean, how do you break down a game in when there's just problems everywhere, right? Like the Twins, game one, they just got their ass kicked. Game two was their only closed game in this series, but Duvall blows the save. I mean, it's going to happen every once in a while. It is what it is. And then game three, it's kind of weird. This is, I think, speaks to the state of this team. It just never felt like they were going to win this game. I don't know if I'm just being a sad boy, but the Giants scored first, and then the Twins would score. And the Giants scored again, but then the Twins scored twice. And then you think like, oh, they're going back and forth, but you just knew, right? Giants score again, and then the Twins put up a 5 spot. They just felt like the entire game they were behind, and it wasn't going to fucking happen. And then you go to the Padres series, and every single game, they were down and they come back within a run. And usually I would, if they're like down 2, maybe even 3, my hopes are up. Like, oh, if they just chip away, no big deal. But at this point, I don't even get my hopes up when they get between 1 or 2. I mean, at this point, I don't even care if they take the lead because I know the bullpen's probably just going to blow it unless they have like a solid fucking lead. And even then, I'm kind of like, they're probably going to lose. These games seem impossible, like they just take, for instance, I think it was the last game of the Padres series. They're down 3 at the beginning, and it just feels like that's a death sentence because it's like, it's possible to catch up. They'll score 3 or 4 eventually, and that's not really that crazy to think. But then you're also believing the starting pitching will give up more runs, which honestly, the starting pitching is probably their best aspect at this moment, and that's possible, I guess. But then you're also believing that this bullpen is going to be shut down. And
what about your savior, JD Davis?
I'm really glad that you brought that up, actually. JD Davis is not a platoon player. He has pretty even splits, and I just don't understand why you're not, like, I don't know, playing the fucking dude, especially when he was that hot. And they're treating him just like a platoon player. So he's only in there against lefties, and is what it is. Now our new savior is Scott Alexander. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's kind of the best reliever to ever touch a baseball.
Yeah, just picking up our discarded trash. That's cool.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Phil Bickford / Heath Hembry. Now you have Heath Hembry and you're talking about discards. Calm the fuck down.
Game winner, Heath Hembry, by the way.
Gosh, I remember when he came up, I was like, dude, this is this is going to be the closer of the future. This is
Rob Nen Volume 2.
Yeah, exactly. He is him. This is my fucking guy. And then they traded him in the Jake Peavy trade in 2014, and I was like, they fucked up, dude. No, there's no way. And then Jake Peavy was a big part of that World Series team. Have you heard about it? Yeah, but to get back into what we were talking about, like the starting pitching, like I get the whole third time through the order, or the starting pitching started to leak oil, so you want to take him out kind of early. But this bullpen is so bad. It's like, honestly, what's the better move? Just to see if the starting pitching, who has been kind of solid for you, like to see if they can at least close down the inning, maybe go pitch in the 90s, maybe even low 100s pitches to try to get, past 6 innings, 7 innings. But they always go to the bullpen, and it's really bad. This team is, certain players are talking about how the fire's not being there, and, we already knew the season was over, but fuck, dude, this is so hard to watch. Like, it really is, but we continue to watch every fucking day, which I don't know what that says about us. I'm not gonna not watch. That ain't in me, but it's hard. It's like a train wreck, and I'm already counting the days down to opening day 2023 when the Giants are the best team in baseball because they have Aaron Judge.
Where things are going to be different somehow.
Okay. Well, one thing before you talk about different really quick.
Wait, hold on.
Go for it. Go. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth.
Okay, go.
Fuck you. The one thing that they're actually the team that's left the bases loaded more than anyone in baseball. So honestly, I feel like one major, star like Aaron Judge, like a Carlos Correa, could really spark the offense next year. That's a whole nother thing that we'll talk about, in the offseason and, maybe when the team gets officially eliminated. But I think they're a little closer than the way they're playing right now, especially because you can always add to this bullpen. The starting pitching, most of it's coming back next year, and it's all the underlying numbers are good, and they look pretty good. I think it's kind of fixable, but they have to. I think Farhan does have a leash for how last year went, and even how 2020 and 2019 went. They weren't in good spots, and they were, fighting for a wild card spot in 2019 and 2020, close to the end. So, the trajectory up, and then the 107 buys them some time. I'm not going to subscribe to the, fire Farhan or Kapler type dumb shit. But things need to change next year. I think they need to seriously invest, or if they want to do a rebuild and whatever, they can find role players.
I want to know, and I don't have this in front of me, what the biggest swing is in terms of wins to losses in a following season. Because the biggest thing I'm looking forward to in this Giants season is seeing how many games below 500 they finish, because they finished 55 games above 500 last year. So
it's not going to be 55 under.
Well, obviously,
I don't think they have as many
to
games
get to 500. That's 55 games, and then how many games are they below 500 right now?
I would have to double check.
So if they finish, what I'm saying is, if they finish 10 games under 500, that's a 65 game swing. That's insane.
That's a 2-player swing.
Shut up. That's awful.
Yeah.
The Giants are awful.
It's not fun.
And it just proves everything I said last season. And before we get into the Dodgers week.
Hold on. Shut the fuck up, first of all. I know where you're trying to go. Are you trying to say that it was a fluke of a season? You can't fluke a full season. There's 7 games under 500. No, you cannot.
Okay.
A full season in baseball? 162?
Okay.
Taking
Shut
the
up.
Dodgers to game 5, down 1 run. No, you're chill.
Listen, they cheated, just like I knew they did. I still don't know how.
You know
But since we're talking about baseless accusations, let's get
Right.
into some baseless accusations that happened this week. Josh Reddick trying to stay relevant because he's playing for the Savannah Bananas and like the Australian high school league or whatever the fuck he's doing. And every Astros fan just still like gargling this dude's balls in their mouths for some reason.
Right.
Like getting all up in arms like, oh, he said the Dodgers cheated. No one else has. But like the most pressed Astros player who definitely cheated, who's gotten the most shit from like Dodger fans on Twitter and whatnot, just goes like, oh yeah, bro, I was there. There's my proof. And all these dumbass Astro fans, again, you know, I'm not going to say it, but, you know, Mother Nature has a way of dealing with Houston. You know, that's all I'm saying. Jesus. I wonder why those floods and earthquakes and whatever all happen for a reason. God hates that city. We all know it.
Westboro Baptist Church, Tyler over here.
If he had a firebomb any city, it would be Houston, but that's irrelevant. What I'm saying is, dude, all these Astro fans just came out of the woodwork like, see, we weren't the only ones. See, look at the proof. And then they're like, what proof do you have? Oh, it's because someone made a video? Yeah. Because someone presented video proof? Yeah, that's the proof.
Right.
Morons.
Yeah, it's funny. I love, especially being on our Twitter, you know, talking about this Astros thing, because then Astro fans will be in our replies and they'll always go to, oh, it's because you're a Dodger, this and that, and like,
right, and it was you.
Try to be like, oh, exactly. They're like, oh, Mickey Mouse 2020. It's like, bitch, actually. Wrong guy.
107 wins, but it was by cheating. So yes.
You know what though? Hold on. I gotta say something. One thing that's annoying about Dodger fans right now.
Oh God, here we go.
Everything is like is cheating. Something happens. Oh, someone cheated. You guys are like the girl who got cheated on, and now everybody is cheating. Now everybody like.
Did you see how Jacob deGrom tweeted how he cheated yesterday? You see how he cheated yesterday? I don't know how he did, but I'm sure he did.
Exactly. It's like nothing is going on. It's like you're cheating. You're cheating by standing on the other side of first base. You could see the signs. You have X-ray vision through his leg. Like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? Calm down.
Okay,
Stop
first
being
of all,
so insecure.
That's not all Dodger fans.
You're a pretty girl too. Not everyone's cheating on you. It's okay. You'll find someone eventually.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not all Dodger fans. Okay, some of us keep it real. All right, but Astro fans, oh my God, dude. Like it wasn't
like
even
you're so biased. You're like they're always like, oh, you're just biased because you're a Dodger fan. Like, first of all, no, I'm not. But second of all, aren't you biased in that same logic? Because you're
right.
Astro fan.
And also,
like, only Astro fans defend this. Nobody else does.
I was gonna say, what's the next line? Like, you're really biased because you're not an Astros fan. So everyone else in the league thinks we cheated. So you're really biased. So yeah, fuck them. And honestly, dude, more than anything, not that it would matter because the teams are constructed so different now.
Right.
But dude, an Astros-Dodgers World Series this year would be great. The Astros, they're great. They are. I mean, I'm not sitting here being like, the Astros are horrible. They cheated 5 years ago, so they suck. No, they're a great baseball team. And most of those guys were not a part of that. But I think it would be a great series. It'd be so much goddamn fun if they met in the World Series.
The buzzers were real. They cheated through 2019. Whatever. Keep going.
That I agree wholeheartedly.
Fuck off.
Anywho, let's break down the Dodgers week. The Dodgers going to Miami for this is the weird series I was thinking of weeks and weeks ago, where they start on a Friday and end on a Monday. Something I don't think I've ever seen in my life before. Dodgers game 1. Boy, was it a shit show. Everything was looking good until Alex Vesey and Phil Bickford decided to blow up. They blow up, then I think it was David Price comes in with a 1-run lead, gives up a home run. We go into extras, and the Dodgers bunt with the man on second for the first time that I can remember and get an infield hit, man on first and third. They score 5 runs. They win 10-6. They scored 5 runs in the 10th inning. It was a thing of beauty. Then they ran into the buzzsaw that is Sandy Alcantara. That was not good. They did not tag him like they did a week prior at Dodger Stadium because I think they tagged him for like 6 runs. So that was great. They didn't quite have it. The next game, Julio takes the bump. I think he gave up a home run. That was the only run that they scored. Dodgers scored 8 runs. Everything's looking good. Then Monday, sorry, I'm just it's been a long week. Monday, they win 3-2, and was this the Craig Kimbrell fucking debacle?
Possibly.
Yes. This was the game. Craig Kimbrell, he looks great in the 8th. He looks shut down in the 8th. They let him try to go the 9th, and he does what Craig Kimbrell does. There's bases loaded, 1 out, and Chris Martin comes in and shuts shit down, which I never thought I would say, because Chris Martin just loves to give up the home run ball. He's like Andrew Heaney, but not as good and in the bullpen. Loves to give up that long ball. But the Dodgers escape. They move on, and everything shifts to New York, because this was the series where I really thought we're going to see what the Dodgers are really made of. Because the Dodgers, I don't know how well they've been tested this year, strictly because the division's not good. The Padres aren't good. The Giants aren't good. Hell, I think the Giants are in 4th place.
Yeah, it's a long time from the first month or 2 of the season. We were like, oh, they're the best division in baseball. I mean, the Diamondbacks are doing better. I think the Diamondbacks are even ahead of the Giants right now. So that shows
I think they are.
Shows you how shitty what's going on right now.
But yeah, because we split the series against New York earlier at Dodger Stadium. So I wanted to see how they would do on the road. They get the first W. They played decent ball. And I mean, Andrew Heaney gave up, was it a 2-run home run to Starling Marte? And he had that bunt that he whiffed on that turned into a triple, basically, because he tried to glove it, and that was a mess. But they get the win, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, we're kind of getting somewhere. Jake Reed gets the save. Didn't see that coming. He got activated that day, and he comes in and gets the save. It was a little shaky, but, you know, it is what it is. A W is a W. And then the next day is Jacob deGrom. And this is what I really wanted to see. I really wanted to see if they could, you know, do something. They didn't. Jacob deGrom went 7, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. I mean, dude, he was dominant all night. The only run was a Mookie Betts solo home run, and that was enough. They lost 2-1. They just looked flat, and I get it. You're facing Jacob deGrom. I'm not expecting like 7-8 runs. I'm expecting something, and they just looked so flat out there, and it just wasn't great.
Plus, Mookie Betts says that he's better than Kershaw, so.
Okay, that's not what he was saying, but
I think he said verbatim, Kershaw's kind of a bitch, and Jacob deGrom,
I think you're right. Ever. Yeah. Anywho, you son of a bitch.
Baby,
Game 3.
What are you
doing? Game 3. This one, I'm putting all this on Gavin Lux. 3 runs can be charged to Gavin Lux for sure. There's that ground ball to second where he's fucking hot dogging it, and Starling Marte is busting his ass down the line, and Gavin Lux doesn't charge it, just lets the ball come to him, flings it over to first. Starling Marte beats out a ground ball to the second baseman. That's bullshit. That should never, ever happen. Ever. And he comes around and scores. There's 1 run. Then Gavin Lux, there's a pop-up into shallow right field. And I'm not saying like that's for sure his ball, but if Mookie Betts isn't calling you off, that means it's too fucking far for him, and you keep going. And then they pull look at each other like they're fucking morons, like, oh, I thought you had it. That was Gavin Lux's ball. It should have been. Mookie never called for it. He never called him off. Should have been Gavin Lux's ball. That's 2 runs right there. Gavin Lux is not like a plus defender. And so all this talk about, well, if Trey Turner walks next year, we have Gavin Lux. Are you out of your fucking mind? First of all, the bat, you can't compare. It's not even close. Trey Turner has a much better bat, and he's a much better defensive player. So, like, this idea of, like, we'll be fine. Think about it. If we didn't have Trey Turner and Freddie Freeman, where would this team be? That's probably 15 less wins easily. So this idea of, like, we can just let these, like, stars walk and the biggest contributors to our offense walk is ridiculous. It can't happen. Sign Trey Turner today. I want to see it happen right now. Yeah, I mean, the series against the Mets, Dodgers just looked flat. They didn't rise up, and the fucking Edwin Diaz shit, it's pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. But I wanted the only positive that I'm going to take away from today's game, which they lost 5-3, is Edwin Diaz comes in the 8th, and they hit the ball hard against him. There's 2 balls that were hit to the track. Also, if Brandon Nimmo doesn't make that catch in game 2, I mean, that was a fantastic catch. Who knows? I mean, it's a completely different ball game, but
yeah, if they hit a home run too, that would probably help.
Yeah. The bright spots in today's game where we hit Edwin Diaz pretty hard, and then Kershaw after the first inning where it looked like he was going to implode, pitched fantastic the next 4 innings. Like elite stuff the next 4 innings. So that's good. A feather in your cap. Kershaw looks like he's back. As long as he feels good tomorrow and the next day, cool. Keep pushing him forward. And then Blake Trinan, he's coming back. That's something to be excited about. I know they're probably not going to throw him into high leverage situations right from the get-go, but that's something to be excited about. He's coming back. Miguel Vargas just got called up for the September roster expansion. We're going to be all right.
Coming back to drink all your liberal tears. Right.
That's right. Well, yeah, Blake Trinan has to come back to show everyone how bad the vaccine is, because he did his own research, and he has a documentary that got banned from YouTube that he's going to show you. That he has saved on a hard drive.
He'll show you if you stay after the game and just wait for him. He'll love to show it to you.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dodgers, I think the biggest thing is people need to remember we're not chasing this, like, we need to beat the 2001 Mariners, the most wins ever. I couldn't give a fuck less about that. As long as we are the number 1 seed and have home field advantage, fine by me. We don't need to win 117 games. It is what it is. Let's just play better baseball. That's all I want.
Yeah. Keep winning, because you have to go on a losing streak at some point. That's what I keep saying. And they're going to get bounced up by the Cardinals in the first round. So that should be tight.
Doubt it.
And that's one thing to look forward to. And the fact that the Baltimore Orioles are going to be in the playoffs this year. So let's fucking go.
Well, I mean, if we want to talk around the league, let's talk around the league.
Let's talk.
Because if you remember, what was my prediction for Rookie of the Year? It's Julio Rodriguez.
You say a lot of
and
stuff.
not only is he going to win Rookie of the Year, he's also the $400 million man now.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds a huge contract that's so confusing.
Right.
I can't even tell you the details off the top of my head. All I know is it like can balloon to $470 million if all these incentives are hit with MVP.
It could end up being an 18-year contract.
Yeah, that'll never fucking happen.
I don't know. I mean, depending what the money is, I guess, because it's not like it's every single year. So I think after 10 years they'll be able to sign him for another 8 or something like that, or after 8 they're able to sign for another 6, something like that, to where he might be able to command even more if he keeps going on this trajectory. So it's very possible that he could do it. Honestly,
I don't see it, but hey, I mean, good for him, I guess. I mean, yeah. But speaking of other rookies, I don't know if you saw, I mean, speaking of the Orioles too, Gunnar Henderson, their top prospect, hit a home run in his second at bat and just looked like a baller doing it. Did you see that video?
Yes, I've seen it.
Fucking lid comes off. He looked pretty baller, dude. I hope the Orioles make it, man. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would have to be rooting against Toronto. I can't see
which I could give a fuck less.
Unless Tampa Bay just goes on the fucking just downward tear, which I guess
Tampa Bay is going to win the division.
You think so, huh?
Dude, they have 10 games against the Yankees still. And the Yankees suck.
Yeah, the Yankees are so bad right now.
You know what's funny? Right. Some guy on my baseball team is like a big Yankees fan, and like probably like 6 weeks ago, he was like, "Nah, man, the Yankees are done. They had their hot streak. It's over." And I was like, "No, they're not. Like, come on, dude." Turns out he was right.
Come on, guy.
Turns out he was right.
Yeah, I mean, well, while we're going around the league, I guess there is some things to talk about. I mean, I guess one thing to mention is the minor leaguers are going to be unionizing. You know, I'm not a lot of details have came out, so I'm not sure what we can exactly cover on that. But that's something that needed to happen, and shit, yeah. I mean, minor leaguers have been taken advantage of and underpaid for a very long time. So I know that the ones that we've talked to and that we've had on this podcast have proven that and backed that up. So to get this thing going, maybe we'll have to have someone come on and really explain to us what's going on and when it gets further along. But that's something that we're all paying attention to and back 1,000%.
Don't put words in my mouth.
I'll put a lot more in your mouth. What do you hate about unionizing the minor leagues?
Don't they make enough money, bro? Isn't
the minor leaguers?
Isn't that enough? Isn't peanut butter and jelly after games enough? Like, what more do you want?
Damn, dude, Rob Manfred in the flesh, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
He said, "I reject the." What did he say? I reject the notion that minor leagues aren't being paid enough.
Dude, if you own a baseball team, you're losing money.
That's true. We have not talked about that. Something that goes unseen.
You know, something I do want to talk about real quick.
Better be fast.
Real quick, because it's getting a lot of buzz on Twitter and whatnot.
Ooh.
So everyone hates Zack Hample, right? Except me.
Yes, let's get into
Except
this.
me.
Yeah. You love Zack Hample.
I don't love him.
You love him.
I like catching baseballs, sure.
Yeah, you love balls.
Dude, I don't get why everyone's just like, he's the worst person in the world, blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, just like forget about it. Who cares? He doesn't like murder kids to get baseballs. The one thing I will say though, like, dude, if I'm at a baseball game and I see a kid's trying really hard to get a baseball, I don't do what Zack Hample does, like, and catch one and then like give it to him. I'm like, hey, dude, like, come over here, like, I'll help you get one where you catch it, because that's the experience. The experience is catching the baseball, not like, oh, thanks, you handed me a baseball. So like, I disagree with him there, but like, why people are so up in arms about this shit in Colorado is ridiculous to me. Because that's bullshit, dude. Like, Usher is telling you, like, no, you can't walk over here. Like, come on. I think that's weak. Stadium. If it was anyone else,
I get what you're saying, but I think the fact it's kind of like, where it's like, everyone thinks that Curt Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame, but no one's gonna cry for him because he's a piece of shit. I feel like with Zack Hample, the things that come out of his mouth, even though like something that happens, maybe not be the worst thing in the world, or you shouldn't be confined to sitting in one seat. You can't stand it. Like, you should be able to, if a home run ball goes, people go for home run balls. That's the way it is. Yeah. But the fact of the things that he said, like the last time he was at Dodger Stadium, the whole,
that was bullshit.
I'm too famous for Dodger Stadium, and I'm gonna sign autographs for these kids, even though these MLB players won't do it. Like, no one gives come on, no one's giving a fuck about you, bro. And you can't be signing while a game is fucking going on. Someone's getting hit with the fucking ball, you idiot. So the thing is there's a lot of stuff like that he does do that I think people just despise him. So even if he's like, 1 + 1, that's pretty much 2. People are gonna be like, actually, it could be 11, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, so. He does come off as like a man baby.
And players don't like him either. So
yeah, that's true. But I will say, speaking of ball hawking, if that's what we want to call it, my boy Ryan Pepio, right before he got sent down, tossed me a ball and remembered me. And we chatted for chatted for a little bit. and then he signed a ball
yeah.
for me. So shout out Ryan
Good
Pepiot.
guy. Yeah, we're gonna get Ryan Peps back. We can get the Peps back on. Why the
After
fuck
he is
not?
part of the 2022 World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Yes,
Oh,
we
shut
will.
the fuck up. And it's not all ball. I mean, ball hawks that are hated. I mean, McCovey Cove Dave is like loved everywhere. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. McCovey Cove Dave's cool though.
Yeah, so hopefully I might be in a kayak in a couple weeks, but we will see. We do not know exactly the details. I don't know how you rent them, but you know that's what's possibly going to happen. But one thing that's not being talked about this Christian Yelich trade that happened 3 or 4, 7 years ago,
you got to be joking,
is the fact that the actual winners of this trade were the Giants. They didn't have to give up anybody, and they ended up getting the 2 top players from that trade. In the Giants organization, Diaz probably would have been called up about a week ago if he didn't go on the IL. He's having a monster year in AAA. Brinston's having a monster year in AAA too, but that's kind of his MO. He'll kill it in AAA and not do shit in the majors. But Brinston's up with the team with September call-ups, as well as VR. Hopefully he can get have a better second chance at it. But I know Hunter Strickland's pissed off that he's a Giant now, but that's what happens when you wear a FAM shirt to Oracle Park, you dickhead.
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
that's man. They don't want you. They don't want us to win, man. They don't.
Yeah, that's
highlight our attributes, bro. That's what it is.
No, it's because Manfred botched the first cheating scandal, and now he's trying to squash the second one before it ever leaks. That's all that matters. Let's just get into this coming week.
There's one more. Before we go into the week, I do want to ask your question, your opinion on one thing. Albert Pujols hitting 700. Is it happening? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm gonna be there, so I'm gonna catch it. Bro, Albert Pujols is giving me the down payment for my new house. So yes,
down payment. If you get that ball and you only put a down payment on a house, I will bitch slap you.
Yeah, put $1 million down payment on $8 million house.
Right.
I think he will. I hope so, dude.
I hope so.
If he hits, like, especially let's say he hits like 696, right? Let's say he ties A-Rod. He's definitely coming back next year. Because he'll hit 4 home runs in a year.
He said specifically he will not.
That's bullshit, dude. He definitely would.
That's ball bullshit. Yeah, you're right.
That's bullcorn.
What are your thoughts on starting 9, accusing him of maybe having being on the juice?
Bro, he's a God-fearing man. He would never do that.
Yeah.
Why are we so concerned about him and steroids? Let's be concerned more about his birth certificate. Albert Pujols is 46 years old. Okay, which makes what he's doing even more amazing. Because there's no way he's only 41 or whatever his birth certificate says he is. There's no fucking way. The man is damn near 50, and he's still hitting bombs.
I like
and
that.
Yeah, he probably was on steroids. The whole oh no, I'm afraid of needles and love God. I don't know if I'd buy it just because you're a really nice guy. Would I care if he was on steroids? No. I love Albert.
Yeah, we all need it. Fuck it. Who cares? Right up, dude.
Seriously, dude.
And to bring up steroids and Pujols right now, I feel like is kind of just itching for clickbait. Like I feel like starting 9 is kind of like it's not it. Like what?
Yeah.
That's just me though.
Yeah, dude. I mean, my big thing was like, I don't know if you saw that Alex Rodriguez tweet today when he's like smoking a cigar and he's like, Albert, maybe I have my pinstripe suit. Maybe I'll come out of retirement. It's like, well, then you got to serve that suspension first. So I dare you to come back.
Right. Yeah, well, I guess you could get around it. Just be like, listen, Rob. I fuck J-Lo. So
I fuck chicks.
Like J-Lo, come on. You can't suspend me. I bang J-Lo. What can you say?
Nah, Rob Manfred's a big Ben Affleck guy.
That's a good point.
Big Batman versus Superman guy.
Yeah, let's get into next week because we're going way off the rails. Yeah. By the way, J-Lo is at least 176 years old. I don't like.
That's
I
true.
feel like she was like 30 in the 80s, and she's still like. You Google it. I think she's like. That says she's like 50 or 60. No, there's no way. Math doesn't add up. I'm not gonna look into it, but she's 176 years old. It's a fact. Next week, the Giants. Will probably lose a lot of games. They are playing Philly. They're playing Philly at home for 3, and then they're going to LA. As some of you would know, I usually go to most of the games in LA. I'm not fucking going. I just spent a bunch of money to go to Oracle in September during the Brave series, and fuck that right now. I went to 3 the last time they were out here. I went to 3 out of the 4 games, dude, and they got swept. So you know what? Maybe Papa needs to lay off one series. Maybe they'll sweep the Dodgers. Maybe they'll just win the rest of the games for the rest of the season. Overtake the Dodgers. Let's fucking go, dude.
Okay, bro.
It could happen. Got
Oh
an
yeah,
angel with you right now.
I doubt it. Yeah, Dodgers are playing 3 against the Pods, and then the old Gigantes are coming in town. Trying to figure out whom I'm more worried about. I'm not really worried about anyone right now.
Who are you worried about losing one game to?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, after the Mets series, I am kind of worried. The Dodgers just looked flat, and I get it. Like, it's the Mets.
The Mets are good, right?
Jacob deGrom's good. Chris Bassett's been good, but Chris Bassett's not Jacob deGrom.
No, but you lost. I mean, someone was gonna have to win that series. It is what it is. You got you're talking about caviar and shrimp cocktail to a starving man here. Okay, no one gives a fuck, Tyler. All right.
Okay, I get that because you're like poor and whatever.
Right. In this.
Yeah. I mean, dude, really, all I want is for everyone to stay healthy. That's my biggest story.
Everyone to have fun.
Like, we can't have a repeat of last year where Kershaw and Muncy go down on the last weekend of the regular season, and now Tony Gonsolin's on the IL, and apparently the progress is a lot slower than they thought, and it's like, fucking, here we go. Like, we all knew something bad was going to happen.
If Muncy goes down, just call out the second coming of Babe Ruth, James Outman, the bane of my existence, and
oh no, dude! Why would we do that when we have the automatic strikeout Joey Gallo, who I last week tweeted I was wrong, but psych, turns out I was right. Joey Gallo sucks at baseball. Okay, he does.
You weren't wrong, and then we're right. You were just wrong twice. So
no,
that's what it is.
No.
Yes, you were wrong.
He's not good. He's not good. Dude, give me Trace Thompson every fucking day.
Right.
I would much rather have James Outman than Joey Gallo. Are you serious?
Why not?
And I know everyone's going to roast me like, James Outman played like 4 games. Well, did he strike out 10 times? No, he didn't. So there's that. That's all I got to say. I'm saying the Dodgers they're winning both series. They're going 4-2. I'm going to be upset about it, but I'm upset about everything.
I would take a win. If you were to tell me, hey, the Dodgers are going to win the series against the Giants, I'd be like, oh, so they get a win? I'm in. Give it to me.
So we're only going to finish 12 games under 500? That sounds good.
Give it to me. At this point right now, I'd be like, okay, let's go. That means they would go on a run a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But Dodgers keep moving on. They'll be the first team to 100 wins. You know, it is what it is, baby. Going for that club record. Gonna do it.
Should be fun. Let's
for
go
me.
Orioles.
Not for you.
I'm just picking up my postseason team right now. Let's go fucking Orioles. Same colors.
I doubt it. Yeah, I mean, speaking of same colors, speaking of black and orange, this podcast was sponsored by Renovation Candle Company, who has all your pumpkin candle goodness out. I'm talking smoked pumpkin spice, pumpkin chai, vanilla pumpkin marshmallow fluff. They got it all in cool orange jars. They look dope. They smell dope. Sure, it's 115 degrees in Southern California right now, but if you live elsewhere, now's the time to go pick up your fall candles.
Right. You got to do it, man. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform as well as YouTube. Write us a review too. Help us out. Follow us on your socials. Instagram Benches Cleared Podcast, Twitter Benches Cleared P, and TikTok Benches Cleared. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you guys next week when we talk about how the Giants lost a lot more games.